Hey, thank you. Glad you tuned back in. If you watched my last video, I said I would be going into compartmentalization, and this is what it is. My name is Tex, and welcome to my mind. So, the idea with compartmentalization, it's something that I was taught to do before I was even taught exactly what it meant. So, I'll take you through, and I get to be the Southern boy again and tell you a story before I tell you a story. So when I was a young man, I had a lot of problems in my head all the time, and woe is me, worries about everything from, girlfriend worries to work worries to school worries to all this different stuff. And I was going and I was at my work, and my uncle happened to see me while I was busy working, and he talked to me and he said, "Hey, what's up?" And I started telling him about all of my personal problems and everything, and he goes, "When you get off work, I want to talk to you about all that." It's like, okay. And he said, "What work problems are you having?" Same old stuff, nothing big. I got the work. And he said, "Okay, we're going to talk." So later I sat down with him and he said the way he had handled it his whole life, because he noticed that what I was doing was is I was letting my personal life spill over into my work life. And what that did was is then I spent all this time worrying about things that at home, after work, before work, personal problems in my work. And then sometimes I think I even would let work stuff spill over into my personal life. He said, "Look, picture it as a coat. You have a coat with lots of pockets, and in all of these pockets is all of your personal stuff. It's your situations for dealing, with things at home and dealing with, girlfriend problems, dealing with, school stuff or whatever." He says, "When you come to work, you have that coat and you take it off and you put it on a hook. And then you reach beside it and take your work coat down and you put your work coat on, and your work coat has all of your work stuff in it. That's the problems and things that you deal with at work. And you leave all of your personal life stuff in that personal coat. And you put your work coat on and you do your work. And then at the end of your work day, you take all of your work problems in that work coat, you hang it back up on the next hook, and you reach over and grab your coat down for personal, and then you go handle personal." And that was the first taste I had gotten of compartmentalization. It got reiterated when I was going through real estate school. So when I got out of the military, I thought, hey, I want to do this real estate thing. And one of the things that I got from the trainer who trained me, he says, "Look, I get up in the morning at 6 a.m. I'm hitting it. I'm doing my stuff. I'm making my phone calls. I'm making my day happen. I'm dealing with real estate stuff. And then when I get off at 2, I'm off. And all of my work stuff stays there, and I go home to my family." Most problems arise from the fact that people will take all of their worries from home and they'll sit around the office all day long going, "Oh my gosh, oh, I got, and this and that, and problem that." And they get behind on all of their work. And then when they leave at the end of the day, they go home. And while they're sitting around at home, they spend their whole evening thinking about, "Oh, I got so much work to do. I got so much stuff." You know, you managed to cheat both sides of the system. You wasn't able to accomplish what you needed to do in this area of your life because you were worrying and thinking about things in this area of your life. So you detracted from it. And then you didn't do the 100% you could do. Then when you got home, well, now you're dealing with your home stuff, or should be instead. Oh, work this, work that, and you're pulling all of your work life into your personal life. That ain't cool. Because what you're doing is you're shorting both ends. And I tell people it's the same way. When I'm doing therapy during the day, I have my own way of compartmentalizing. I see it as a box. And when you come into my office, you have a box. Even before you walk in the door, I have my box. I take all of my stuff that I'm dealing with about work or anything else or any other part of my job or any other part of my personal life, and I put it in Tex's box. and I put that box and I slide it up on the shelf. In my own little mind shelf, I put it up there because I'm going to take it down later and deal with it, but not now. Then when you come in, I open up your box and we sit and we talk about what's in your box. We take the items out of your box and we're like, oh, okay. And this was something that happened when I was 5. And this happened to me at work last week. And this is what's going on in my mind right now. And this is your box of stuff. And before that session ends, we're going to take all of your stuff and pick it up neatly, and things that we have worked on, done, accomplished, things that you have fixed yourself. We're going to neatly put back in your box and put your box on the shelf, or put your box on you, and you're going to put it on your little carrier backpack, or you're going to walk out the room. But your box is now separated so that when the next person comes in, they have room on the table to take out their box. It's not fair, my own thinking, that I let things that happened in 1 hour bleed over into the next. In other words, if this client is having a really rough day, it is not fair in any form or fashion for when that client leaves for me to take everything that came out in that and then behave accordingly with my next person, because maybe they don't have those kinds of problems. Maybe they're in a good mood. Why would I want to drag them down? Okay. Or maybe their problems just have nothing to do with anything in the same vein as the last one, and I have to be able to reset my mind to do that. And I have to do it every hour with every client. And at the end of the day, I have to take that whole bunch of stuff that went on during the day and make sure all those boxes are put away. Because when I leave work, it is not fair to the people around me if I drag my work with me. If I go to the grocery store on the way home and I'm down and I'm all this because of everything I dealt with during the day, that's just not fair to the people around me. They have their own issues and problems. Why do I need to poke them? Or if I'm angry at something, why do I need to poke them? My goal is to represent the best me I can possibly be at that moment to that person that I'm dealing with, or that situation, or that task. And if I can't do that and everything muddles over, then it gets to the point where nothing gets accomplished. There are times in your life when you have to juggle. Maybe you're cooking and you have 3 pots on the stove. But when you're done cooking, you have to put all those pots to rest so that when you eat, you taste the food and you're not worried about fussing over the stove. Focusing comes down to being able to compartmentalize and take all this extraneous stuff, all these things that doesn't have to do with this problem, and go, no, I'm dealing with this problem. I'm working on this thing. And as you do that, you start to compartmentalize. And being able to do that allows you to slow down how an event, a person, or a thing can shadow the rest of your day. Okay? The only things that you want putting and casting a shadow on your day is things that you deliberately put there. If you want to have a good day, you have a thought it's a good day, you're working on it being a good day, and you can carry that. But each individual thing goes into its box and you put them on that shelf. And that visual really helps me. I remember, like I said, my uncle talking to me, and I'll give him a shout out. He ain't here, but he's somewhere else in the world because he's long since gone. But Uncle Friday taught me that hang your personal coat up and take your work coat down. And Mr. Donaldson, he taught me when you're at work, you better work. And when you're done and you're at home, you better be at home. You better be with your family. You better enjoy it, because there's nothing worse than later on, should something happen and people move, people leave, people grow up, and you're looking going, damn, I spent all my time at home worrying about stuff at work. And now I could have spent that with that person and I wasn't. My mind wasn't there. My mind was back at work. Now, some people will say, well, how do I do that? Because I'm so caught up in work. Okay. Again, rational mind, which means first breathing, calming, bringing down the emotions so that the rational mind can work. So doing things to bring that down so that rational mind can take over it, and your rational mind sitting there and saying, is there anything I can do about work while I'm sitting at home right now, this moment? Odds are no. Will I be, if it's a problem you're trying to solve, ask yourself, will I better be able to solve that problem if I'm relaxed, calm, and focused? Probably yes. How do you get there? Quit worrying about the work shit. Take a shower, go for a walk, spend time with your family or friends, or doing something that brings you value in your life. Go to bed, get your rest. Wake up in the morning with a fresh mind. Wake up, raring to go, solve your problem. You probably will accomplish more if you do that. If you lay around and worry all the time about something at work, then odds are you won't be restful. You won't be happy. When you go to work, you'll be angry because you didn't get to do the things you want to do because you was worried about work. So use the compartmentalization. Whatever visual works for you. I gave you the ones that help me. One is the coat and visualizing everything, a coat for every purpose, and you wear that coat. You have a work coat, you have a home coat. Or when I'm at work, I picture a shelf and I picture boxes, and that box has this stuff in it that belongs to this person or this thing, this task. And then I put that box up when I'm done. Okay. I hope that helps you to be able to separate out things in your life so that you can focus. You'll find that as you're able to do that, you're able to focus better. And as you focus better, you will accomplish more. And some of the boxes will have less stuff in them. Some of the boxes you can actually put away. And that all comes from gaining that focus and concentration. And you gain the focus and concentration by doing the practices. Okay. Self-calming, rational thinking, visualizing where you want to be and what you're doing. And your vision will become reality. Hope you have a great day, and I hope that helps you. You take care, and I'll talk to you later.